Hey guys, it's Hollie, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to tell you why I haven't been uploading or why I haven't been at school and what this story time is about. So as you guys may know from the title, I did actually break my arm. You know how everyone says, oh no, everyone like breaks their arms, their toes, their feet, their fingers, their heads. But yeah, I understand that you break your arms and stuff and it's not the end of the world, but this is like one that I will remember for a long time because it is very painful and it was a hard process to get through to the end. So I'm just going to be telling you the story because I thought it was a story to be told. Some of you guys may know Hollie from my Bean Boozle challenge that I did a while ago, but I actually posted it the day before that this incident happened. So I was with Hollie, we just got back from ice skating and we both decided to go jump around on a trampoline. So she has this trampoline and it's big, but it's not that big. So she was sitting next to me on the swing while I was jumping around on the trampoline. I was doing back handsprings, I was doing front tucks, I was just doing basically all the stuff that I could do. Then I decided to do a handstand back handspring. So I did a back handspring backflip and I actually landed it, which I was really proud of myself because it was such a small trampoline. If you guys don't know what a back handspring backflip is, I'm just gonna insert a video right here. So that's what it looks like, and I just did a couple of those. As you can see, they don't take up that much space. Because of the size of the trampoline, I was getting a lot more nervous to do my back handspring backflips. I did 4 or 5 of them and I was like, okay cool, I'm just going to do one more, and then when my dad gets here, I'll show them to him. It was 3:25 and I was jumping around the trampoline and my dad was coming to pick me up at 3:30. On the last one that I did before my dad came, I blacked out halfway through the backflip. I landed the back handspring. When I went to go into the backflip, I kind of flung myself instead of flipped myself. Started kicking my legs around and I put my arm down and to stop me from hurting myself because there's a net around this trampoline, so you're not going to fall out. I don't know why, but I thought I was going to fall off the trampoline, so I kind of put my arm down instead of just landing on my back or my shoulder or something. I kind of put my arm out like this and it kind of snapped my shoulder and my arm got caught behind me when I landed and my arm was bent and it was just it was looking like this, but I was kind of laying on the side of my arm. So I was in a lot of pain. So I started screaming and Hollie got her mum. My dad showed up and we had a couple of the neighbours help take down the net and pull me off the trampoline because at this point I really couldn't move. I was actually in probably the worst pain that I've ever experienced, but I somehow managed to not cry. When we finally got to the emergency room, we walked straight in. So the lady had one look at my arm and took me straight through because she saw that it was really badly dislocated and I was in a lot of pain. She sat me down in a bed and I got some doctors coming up to me asking me if I wanted some pain medication and stuff like that, all the usual. I got these 2 nurses and they told me that the x-ray was actually broken, so if they wanted to x-ray my arm first, they would actually have to send me upstairs. And because I was in a state where it really hurt to walk and it wasn't very comfortable sitting in a wheelchair because I'd have to hold my arm, they decided to just go ahead and manipulate it back into place. In the end, I decided to not x-ray before and just try to manipulate it back into place. They told me that I'd be on laughing gas for 5 minutes or something, and then we'd go ahead and x-ray after that it's back in place because they said that it's probably not fractured or broken or anything like that, or they can see that it's dislocated, so they're just going to manipulate it back into place. They tried to manipulate it back into place and I was in a lot of pain. I was actually on the laughing gas for an hour and they still couldn't get my shoulder back into place. I felt like I was in a cartoon when I was having the laughing gas. I kept on telling mum that there was a river behind me because the floor was blue and there were these cartoon fish-like characters cut out onto the roof and I felt like I was in a cartoon. So after that I started gagging on the laughing gas because I had so much of it. I had the full amount that they can actually give you of laughing gas. I got that and I got 2 squirts of anesthetic on both nostrils. I was basically all drugged up and I wasn't feeling very well. I started gagging on the laughing gas, so they decided to stop it and go get me an x-ray because in the time that I was actually getting my arm manipulated back into place, they had fixed the x-ray. I went into the x-ray room on a bed and I was feeling really sick at this point, so they put the bars up and everything, gave me a bucket. They started x-raying my arm and it was really hurting at this point. My nurse had one look at the x-ray and then walked out of the room. I was like, is that bad or something? Is that like really bad or something? I got taken back into the room. So they told me after that my arm was actually fractured, and it was a really bad fracture. I'll insert a photo right here of what it looks like, because they said it's probably one of the worst humerus fractures I've ever seen. My humerus was actually off the bone and they're meant to be connected, but they were actually split in half, and it was like a nice clean snap. So they said that might need surgery, but they didn't want to do the surgery that night. So they sent me off into a ward, admitted me, and I stayed there for the night. They put me in this kind of cast-like thing. It went from here to about my elbow. It just helped my arm kind of drop during the night, which will kind of decrease the chances of me getting surgery. Next morning, I got taken straight into an x-ray room. They x-rayed my arm. They told me that my arm has actually fallen further out of place than back into place, which they tried to avoid. So I was fasting all day until about 12 o'clock, and I was super hungry. And we were just waiting on the results if I had to get surgery or not. And the nurse kept on coming in and saying, we don't have the results yet, I'm sorry. And then like at 12 o'clock or something, the nurse came like running in and saying, okay, we need to get you to surgery right now. And I'm like a very nervous person, so my heart started beating like really fast. I felt like I was gonna pee myself, and I was like really scared and stuff. So we headed down into the operating theatre. Next thing I knew, I was asleep, put a needle in the back of my hand, and I felt some cold stuff going on my arm. Next thing I knew, I was waking up and it was all over. What they had to do basically was try to manipulate it back into place and then put K wires in, which are these quite thick wires that they just drill in. So this is where that part is. It's just these wires that they just drill in. There was about like 3 or 4. So that night I stayed at the hospital. So I had the drip in for all night until about 4 o'clock on Tuesday morning. I got my operation at 12 on Monday. I got out on Tuesday morning at like 11:30 or something. And I just went home and slept and watched some TV for the day. So that was basically the story of what happened to my arm. I know it wasn't that exciting, but I think it was something to share because it was quite painful and I've never experienced anything like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that story time. That was probably my first story time ever. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and press that subscribe button down below to become a part of my channel and be updated whenever I upload a new video. And if you guys have any requests for videos, comment them down below. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.